Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Tuesday, March 20th, 2018. I'm Fredicia Liburd. Today, on the occasion of World Social Work Day, the Minister of Social Development in the Nevis Island Administration, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, delivered an address to officially commemorate the day.
The official 2018 World Social Work Day theme is Promoting Community and Environmental Sustainability. This is the second and final year of this theme of the global agenda for social work and social development. However, in considering our own local realities, the Nevis Social Services Department has decided to focus on the sub-theme Promoting Social Work, another noble profession.
According to Honorable Evelyn, the need to champion the profession and attract workers is a growing and urgent need here on Nevis. The Minister of Social Development noted that there are many pressing issues surrounding social work that can and should be highlighted on World Social Work Day, including child welfare and child justice, poverty, and social problems. Social workers have a fundamental role in the workforce if they are to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Minister Evelyn stated that without the help of adequately trained and sustained social workforce, none of the above-mentioned issues can be effectively addressed. He went on to mention and congratulate the pioneers of social work here on Nevis.
I would particularly like to pay homage to the trailblazers of social work here on Nevis. I speak of Mrs. Helen Bradley, one of our earliest social workers. I also speak of Mrs. Jean Harris, who introduced to our Nevis social work operation one of the most needed and outstanding programs, our Seniors Outreach Program, where field workers are deployed throughout the island daily to interact with the elderly who have served our communities. The program started in 2003 in the parish of St. James with 2 workers and have grown to an island-wide outreach spanning all 5 parishes with 18 field workers now deployed from the Department of Social Services Seniors Division. I also speak of former directors of social services, Mr. Orlando Sargent, Mr. Hensley Daniel, and Mrs. Cheryl Bartlett Field, who all made a sterling contribution to the development of the Social Services Department and to the overall development of social work on the island.
Minister Evelyn also commended the current Director of Social Services, Sandra Maynard, and her staff for the excellent work they've been doing over the past few years. The speech will be broadcast in its entirety on Nevis Television following this evening's newscast. A motivational seminar was hosted for women and girls as part of the activities for International Women's Day at the Occasions Entertainment Center. Junior Minister of Gender Affairs, the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams, delivered the welcome remarks.
I want to challenge all of you this morning to be champions of change, And instead of being suppressed and oppressed, I call on you to press for progress. This motivational seminar serves as a call to action for you all young women to stand up for ourselves, to know your self-worth, and to take up your rightful place in this, our society. To stand up and take your rightful place in our society.
The Gender Affairs Minister encouraged the participants to involve themselves as much as possible in the seminar and to put what they've learned into practice.
You will, throughout the day's session, be deeply engaged on several important themes which touches and concerns women's rights and the push for gender equality. I encourage you to absorb as much as you can and participate keenly in these discussions. Build new friendships and partnerships, but also build a new you. Also build a new you. I am persuaded that at the end of these today's session, you will be pleased that you have participated, and you will simultaneously motivate yourself to go out into your communities and preach a message of progress which will transform the lives of every woman and girl everywhere.
The seminar consisted of female participants from the public and private sectors as well as the secondary schools on the island. A total of 4 individual sessions dotted the seminar, which consisted of 4 facilitators. The morning sessions included Senator in the National Assembly Honorable Akila Byron Nisbet on the topic Pride in Yourself, Honorable Marcella Liburd, Member of Parliament in the National Assembly, who spoke on the topic Confidence, Courage, Inspiring a New Generation of Women in Political Representation and Leadership, and Senior Legal Counsel in the Nevis Island Administration, Rhonda Nisbet Brown, on the topic Domestic Abuse, There is No Excuse. In the afternoon's session, Youth Policy Consultant Dwinette Eversley engaged the participants in working group presentations. The members of the head table also consisted of Chairperson Tricia Daniel and Coordinator of the Gender Affairs Division, Lorraine Archibald. Still to come, International Women's Day activities continue with March and Rally. The details after this break.
As a fisherman, I use the marine resource wisely so I can conserve our biodiversity, so I can fish for life. It's all about balance.
I preserve biodiversity by the way that I farm. It takes care of my family. It's all about balance.
I have enjoyed these seas all my life. I do my best to conserve our biodiversity because I want my children and my grandchildren to enjoy them as much as I do. It's all about balance.
I'm a park ranger, and my job is to properly manage our protected areas and conserve our biodiversity. It's all about balance.
Youth, let's play a part in conserving our biodiversity and maintaining our natural resources. It's all about balance.
For life, for livelihood, for the future of St. Kitts and Nevis, let's all conserve our biodiversity and use our natural resources wisely. It's all about balance.
I cannot miss this festival this year. I gotta be there. Gotta be there. I gotta be there.
Welcome back. The penultimate activity for the observance of International Women's Day is a march and rally in Charlestown on Thursday, 22nd March 2018.
So on Thursday, we will have the rally. Last year, we had a very large crowd, and we are expecting twice that crowd this year. The theme for this year's Women's Month is Pressing for Progress. And so we want all those women who are progressive and who are pushing to get to the next level to come out and rally with us. Secondly, we are rallying for the elimination of violence in all its forms. We are looking for persons to come out with their placards and to send a strong language to the general public that as women, we will not accept domestic abuse or gender-based violence as the norm. And so women, you are welcome to come and join us as we rally through the streets of Charlestown to the Villa grounds.
Junior Minister in the Ministry of Gender Affairs, the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams, gave details of the culminating activity in the Villa grounds.
The main highlight of this rally would be a concert at the end of the rally at the Villa grounds, and the main artist would be Itana, the singing sensation out of Jamaica.
Junior Minister of Gender Affairs, the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams. Meanwhile, the Ministry and Department of Agriculture welcomes and supports the gender affairs activities and are making every effort to accommodate them in this year's edition of Agriculture Open Day. The acting permanent secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Hughie Sargent, is encouraging persons to come out to the 24th edition of Open Day, which is being held under the theme Building Resilience for Climate Change for Food Security.
I've been assured by the director and the other senior staff at the Department of Agriculture that all of the I's have been dotted and the T's have been crossed, and it's really just to move them in place for the 24th staging of the Department of Agriculture's Open Day and exhibition. Of course, it takes place on the 22nd and the 23rd of March at the Villa Grounds. We're inviting you to come out and see everything from crop farming, livestock, agro-processing, ornamentals, we have food demonstrations. We have literally everything all in one place, and we're ready. So it's just about time for you to start putting some dollars in your wallets and purses to come and support our local farmers. And as the Department of Agriculture motto goes, buy local, eat local.
According to the acting PS in the Ministry of Agriculture, there is somewhat of a rivalry between the various divisions of the Department of Agriculture to see who can best portray the theme on Thursday and Friday. The Director of Agriculture, Randy Elliott, has been charged with assigning the judges for the two-day event.
Yeah, the Fisheries Department would have come really hard last year, and every time you ask the fisheries, what is it they're coming with this year, they're keeping their lips locked. This year they would have promised to come with something even greater than what they did last year. Last year they had a 24-foot boat on the Villa Grounds, and I think that was very impressive from the department last year, bearing in mind their presence over the years before. So this year you could look out for the Department of Fisheries. They're going to come hard again. This competition between the different departments and divisions, it is one that is anticipated for. The staff, they're working tirelessly to ensure that they come out the winners this year.
Director of Agriculture, Randy Elliott. That's how we wrap up this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Library. Thank you for viewing.
At a loss as to what's going on in Nevis? Tune into NNC on NTV. Don't worry if you don't have cable either. NNC will bring the news to you wherever you are. Facebook and Facebook Live. YouTube and YouTube Live. NevisTVOnline.com. Roku app, NTV mobile app, Smart TV, Apple TV, and any other IPTV platforms. When me ANC and you ANC, NNC.